Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Question of the Day. We'll be right back right after a short intro. Hey, everybody, this is Darren Buss with Paranormal Question of the Day. Coming up this Monday night, we're having Expedition Enitiy on with us. We're going to be talking about their previous episodes and the new episodes coming up soon on PARAFlixx. Also, we're going to be talking about the fallout from the YMCA Paracon in Rock Island. All that and more coming up next. And we are back. How y'all doing here? See, is this a video here?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that was a video. All right.
Just lining them up for you.
Short snippets here. Okay, so you got two of them here?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. We have Mr. Larry here with us, one half of Expedition Enitiy, and he'll be having Dan in shortly.
Yeah, as most of you guys know who know Dan, he got called into
Mr.
work.
Dan Norval.
So he'll be here. He just got out. Shortly,
just got out where? Out of jail?
Yeah, out of jail, literally. Literally.
What did he do today?
So the jail is short-staffed, and he had to work the control panel. So he went in and he wasn't even in uniform. They just threw him in there in his regular clothes and said, push buttons. Easiest 2 hours of pay ever.
Yeah, I'd say double pay.
Right. So.
And Taryn will be on shortly if everything goes to plan there too, because she hasn't been on yet tonight, since the season started. But hey, she's got to work too, and pay the bills. So
she had that magazine that just came out.
I heard about that. Yes, Ghosted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I'm sure that keeps her real busy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. I didn't have a chance to get into the show because I got so much other stuff going on, and I've been pretty busy.
Sure.
Other than that, I'm waiting for some folks to pop on. It's a dry board right now, so we're waiting for people to pop on.
Oh, I get it.
But other than that, Larry, so how's it going in the paranormal world and all that above?
My headphones keep cutting out. What is going on here? Okay.
Go ahead. Good?
Yeah. Okay. They keep cutting in and out for some reason.
Dog must have tuned on the wire.
They're supposed to be wireless.
Oh, that's the problem right there.
I know.
That's why I stray away from wireless headphones now.
Just
for these things.
My gaming headphones, and I'm just like, oh, I've already got a pair. Sure. Well, look what happens. You cheap out, and they cut out.
Yeah. And Mr. Bill Walter is the first one in chat tonight.
Bill.
Welcome,
Walter,
sir.
The broadhead guy. Bill.
Absolutely. I'll be seeing him on the 4th of November.
Yeah?
Yep. My final paranormal investigation for the year.
Jenny Davis.
Hey, Jenny. How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're just kind of letting things warm up here and get the oven hot. We have
a few more events for this year before we're ready to hang up our spurs, if you will.
Yep.
We have a library investigation in a town near me. The whole library, went out to their community and said, hey, come reserve. We'll investigate the library. And it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big event. So we're excited about that.
Very cool. Sorry, Bill. I know I missed it.
That's Friday. And then actually that might be the last investigation this upcoming Friday.
Is this the one that's going to be on season 3 yet?
No, this is just like an investigation event that people come and investigate with us.
Oh, okay. I see.
So the library wanted to do something, and we're like, yeah, it's 10 minutes from my house. Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. Can't beat that.
Well, actually, no, I guess we start filming season 4 in December. So I guess it's not too much of a break.
Yeah. I hear you. It just gets too cold. The jail.
Yeah.
I'm shutting the jail down. Like the 18th is the last investigation day, which I won't be there because it's my son's 15th birthday. So
well, happy early birthday then.
yep. So I gotta be there for that. So, but hey, it's an overnight for the people, and we're changing things. Going forward in November, we're doing Friday nights are just 8 hours only, and then Saturdays are overnights.
Nice.
Or 8 hours, however you choose.
Sure.
Oh, I bet.
A lot of the places that we go to, we've had as few as 4 hours in the time slot that they book you, up to 8. Some of them are a little longer, but most of the time they're actually about 6 hours. Most of the places we go to. So, So when I went to Bill's party last weekend, Friday, I kind of waited until the end of the night once a lot of people cleared out to go and investigate.
Yep.
And at that point, a lot of the spirits, you could tell they were kind of burned out.
Hey, Ronald.
But we were able to talk with some. And so I put all the cat balls in the second floor just outside of Bill's condo, the large open space. And we spread the cat balls out on the floor. And then Allie, my girlfriend, had the idea to play music. So we kind of aimed around the mid-20s-ish, up and down years. And then she goes, let's start dancing. I'm like, okay. So we start dancing. And then cat balls would go off around us.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, hey, this is working.
This would be a good video shot.
Sweet. Yeah, no cameras. I was just investigating to have fun for once. No cameras.
Right.
Doesn't happen often enough.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. And then we went to the gift shop. The same thing, put cat balls all over the place. And she was asking questions and was able to get them to light the cat ball up as a response 3 times. So it was pretty neat. They all love the dance. Yeah. I don't know who was dancing, but someone was, other than me.
Wasn't Dan dancing too?
Dan was unable to make it. He was at another location giving a presentation.
See, I was doing a show and I couldn't come. And plus my wife works so late that it would have been really late if we would have got there. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah, a lot of times Dan and I will divide and conquer if we've got multiple things going on. But it's always so much easier if we can both go to one spot.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, because I don't. Most people don't realize this about me, but I have a very small social battery. Like an hour, and I'm exhausted. I'm burned out. But when you go to like a conference, and I'm the only one there with Paige, and Paige is selling her stuff, it's like I have to talk for 3 days. I'm gonna die.
Dan will be coming soon.
Yeah, he got called into work. He's on his way home now, so it should be a little bit.
He was a naughty boy today.
He was in jail. And I'm going to leave it there. He was in jail.
As long as he brings his duct tape with him.
That's right.
Just a joke. A joke. But yeah, I mean, we went to the asylum last night in Sheboygan. That was interesting. That was 8 hours of
so much fun at the asylum. I'm really glad you got to go.
Soap on a rope.
Soap on a rope.
Yeah, we went to the the criminally insane part. We went to the tunnels. The tunnels are really active. Holy crap.
Did you make it up to the nurses' quarters?
Yes, we did.
So when I was
very
there,
active that night though.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty quiet when we were there.
When I was there with Diet and Richard Estep, and then eventually Jason and Sherry joined us for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We had 2 tripwires going all the way down the hallway, and then towards the back where it's like the lounge area. It started there. The tripwire started going purple to red all the way down, then where it stopped at where it was red was this massive hallway-sized cold spot.
Oh.
So for like 10 minutes, we're walking forward, back, cold, hot. Well, okay. Why is this so big? What is going on here? Why is this red? It was so weird. So That was the first night, the first part of it. There's 2 investigations that night.
Oh, okay.
When we did the second one, I moved to the cafeteria in the chapel and had a lot of really great stuff happen. But Sierra and Steve were now up in the nurses' quarters, and they had tripwire stuff going off and all this different EMF stuff. And I'm like, that's great. So yeah, I guess we got lucky then.
Well, yeah, I think that for the month, I think they were pretty well active, and they just probably wanted to quiet down. But
sure,
I digress on that. But we were in the hallway mostly, and then when we got back to home base, I saw the thing that what Diet mentioned, like stay out of the hallway because they're busy. And hey, Denise, and Denise said they had raccoons in April.
Oh my. That's the last thing I'd want to crawl out through the building and be like, what's that skittering sound?
But it was so windy last night. I mean, oh my gosh, it was windy. But yeah, we just didn't. I think we were in there for maybe half hour, 45 minutes tops when we bounced, and then went to different locations. The most active spot for us was once we started, we were right down by the morgue.
Yeah,
that was pretty active. And then we went to the tunnels, and oh my gosh, right in the Y section there.
Yep.
Holy cow, that was I think we spent like an hour and a half down there. It was so active. It was funny.
When we did it, we were essentially tour guides, so they're like, "Hey, you're in this room for 3 hours." Oh, okay, cool. So on the second night, I got to go into the tunnels. And I spent half the night in that Y and then half the night in the back by the boilers.
Okay, so we didn't get to the boilers.
You didn't, or you did?
No, we didn't. We just stayed in the areas because it was so weird. We would get some strange hits, but we were having some funny conversations. I'll put it at that.
Sure, I know.
And
I'm sure I had those same ones.
Did you ever hear a hum down there?
A hum? No.
Okay, so I was experiencing, it wasn't just me, it was a couple other people down there. I had the Lucid headphones on too.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then you can hear it from a mile away.
But even taking it off, it was weird because it screwed up my equilibrium.
Okay.
Because I looked forward, I was okay. If I looked this way, it got really loud. Looked that way, it got really loud. And then I looked forward, it was fine. But it was like, it seemed like it was surrounding me. Weird. And then I moved to the right, and then it was more directional.
Huh.
It was weird.
I know when we were down there, we were with several women, and some of the spirits are known to get a little affectionate.
Oh, yes, they're a bunch of pervs.
A little affectionate. It is well documented that the tunnels were essentially a frat party.
Yep, Mr. Tom.
And yeah.
Yep, Tom was the...
Now, Tom, one of the tour guides is Tom's girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
I'm spacing on her name. I feel kind of bad right now.
Okay.
But she sat with us on the last session of the night on Saturday. And let me tell you, Tom is very talkative when she's there.
Yep.
He talks a lot, and he flirts a lot.
Oh, yes, he does.
Tom is a flirt, which is kind of cool because, when you're doing stuff like Estes and the SB7 and stuff like that, you don't really get flirting very much.
Yep. And they said Mark was through there too. And then you got the shadow man or the shadow man
in the hallway or in the tunnelway. Yeah.
Yep. And I even actually made up a point, like, it'd be kind of cool to have, like, okay, you do the Josh Hurd Hauser split video where you're at Malvern, Shadowman Hallway, and the Shadowman Hallway at Sheboygan, and see what comes across that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the situation. Are those two buildings connected through portals?
I don't know. It's just I want to make the comparison of the two and see if they could connect.
Okay.
That's just one of the things I was brought up, and they're like, hey, that might not be a bad idea, but
sure.
Video feed, like you said, video feed, it's very hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you'd have to run cable for the tunnel. And you're talking what, 300 feet of cable at minimum.
I'm gonna say more than that.
Probably more. So, but yeah, it'd be neat. It'd be neat to try out.
Yeah, video footage at Sheboygan is very pricey. So
Yes, it is.
so
Now I
that-
do know for a fact that a lot of that price comes from the building owners.
Yep.
That then gets passed on to the event organizers. That then gets passed on to the people requesting.
Correct.
So it's an unfortunate thing, but
A lot of miscommunication can probably go through that.
yeah. Well, and it's a large building where you
It
can
is.
spend a night in there and not hit every spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I'm sure it's expensive to upkeep it.
Oh yeah, we did hit the chapel.
Yeah.
We did hit the oh gosh, I'm trying to think what the other one is. The other half of the chapel, like you went the opposite direction before you went into the tunnels. You went the opposite direction. It's the tubs, the hydration tubs section.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we went in that section.
Hydrotherapy or something.
Yep. We went in there.
Yeah.
So many different spots that we went to. It was interesting. And I was trying to talk to, well, not trying. I was asking Nicholas, the point that was there with us. He's one of the tour guides. I was like, okay, you've been in this building for so long. What spot haven't you been to? Let's try it.
Sure.
You know, and you know, some of the spots were doorways were closed off. We couldn't get into, but
Yeah,
we did mention the cafeteria, but he didn't want to go in there. So, and that's fine. I mean, it didn't bother me. I was happy to be there to do stuff. So,
sure. I spent 3 hours ish in the cafeteria in the chapel, and of the two, I had the most activity in the cafeteria.
okay.
I put a REM pod down on the floor just outside of the door going into the chapel, and a large group of us, you know, kind of standing around it, and it would go off and hold consistently for 5, 10, 15 seconds. Like, that's weird. And I explained to people, like, this goes off by proximity. You have to go up and touch it for it to go off.
Yeah,
we all just watched it go off on its own. Then as soon as I'd turn around to go back to where I was standing, it go off again.
See, I was trying something new, but go ahead, finish your story.
And then we had cat balls. One of my favorite devices to do for groups is the Necrophonic or the Phasma box.
Have you tried a Necometer?
No, I'm relatively new to the apps, and I'm still skeptical of them. You know, I give them all a 50-50. Right. They all have word banks.
I use Spirit Talker for everything, mostly.
How does that work? Does it work pretty good?
It's the same thing as Necra. What did it say? The
one you just said.
Yeah, the one I just said about the Necrometer. It works the same way. Okay. It has a word list that goes down. If I find it here,
yeah,
it works like this. Most people have it.
Okay.
So it just gives a word bank, and then whatever it catches.
Banks, how do you? Yeah. So there's Bill.
Yeah, and then it just it gives a list. It saves the list, and you can send it to people.
For sure. One thing that I like about especially the Phasma box, which Bill's saying here, is none of these word banks have profanity.
Well,
I know for a fact the Phasma box doesn't, and the Necrophonic doesn't.
Yeah.
Now there might be some of the smaller ones that I haven't tried yet that have profanity, but I know those two don't. So when Dan gets called, can I swear on your show? I can't remember.
Yeah, I got thing up there.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So when Dan gets called a fat ass, a pussy, a fatso, almost every single location he goes to, this Phasma box is calling him something. In the newest episode that comes out at the end of the month, it calls him a bastard.
Poor Dan.
Why? So that's very interesting. And then there's other times where a response is too direct. And it's like, is this app for real? So I'll give you an example. And for this one, I'll talk about the Necrophonic. We were doing our investigation at Bad Axe, Wisconsin, which is the Bad Axe Massacre. Over 500 Native Americans died in a football-ish sized space. We're talking a lot of bodies, right? So we're investigating it. Doing
There's
research
Mr.
for our
Dan.
book. Hey, Dan. We're doing
Hi.
research for our book. And we're doing the necrophonic thing. And Diet, Renee, who we brought with us a psychic medium, she starts going, I'm getting the father. A father? Blackhawk's father? And across the necrophonic, it goes Paesa. I don't know what the heck Paesa is. These guys
Sounds
didn't hear
Mexican to
it.
me.
They didn't respond to Paesa. So I'm sitting there going through the review, and I get to that, and I'm like, what the hell is Blackhawk's father's name? And I go and I look it up. It's on Wikipedia because he wasn't a chief, but he was a medicine man. So there's documentation of who he was. And take a guess what Blackhawk's father's name is. Paesa.
Wow.
So this is an app, though. It's word bank.
Yeah.
But it did actually say his name when prompted. That's kind of
interesting.
weird.
Yeah, it is. Poor
So,
Dan.
We were just talking about how you get called things like bastard, fatso, pussy,
Bill called me a prick.
prick, shithead.
It just
Which
likes to pick on you.
Bill's
doesn't it?
right. So I mean,
Yeah.
It just likes to pick on
yeah, I mean 95% of the time you call me a prick or an asshole, you're probably right.
Right. The
But
funny
hey,
thing
you know,
is,
if you're good at something,
well, you are good
Yeah.
at being a prick. The funny thing is, in this
and
this
Larry's
latest
good
episode,
at being a runt.
wow. This latest episode that's coming out at the end of the month, Dan's doing a session, and at the end of it, he goes, I feel pretty good. They didn't call me one bad name. Well, it turns out he didn't hear them call him a bastard.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. They slipped one in.
Oh man, that's so funny.
So hi everybody. Sorry, I just walked in from the grind.
Yep. Whenever we go, hey guys, we're gonna make it there, and then a day later we go, never mind, Dan got called into work. Yeah, it really happens. It happens quite often.
Well, I mean that's just the fun thing about investigating, you know. Tanner just is messaging me here though.
Yeah. So you didn't really miss much. We were just talking about Sheboygan a little bit, and
Which I wasn't at.
yeah, so
Yeah, everything you're talking about, I probably can't weigh in on because I wasn't there.
well, Darren was just there the other night, so
Oh, okay.
I was talking about how, you know, we had things going off in the nurses section with Steve and Sierra, and then Paige and I had a lot in the cafeteria, which he didn't get to go to. So, you know, if you go back, check out the cafeteria, man. It's pretty neat.
Oh, I'm sure I'll go back. I mean, it's just a matter of the team I was with is when they go, and that's when I'll join up with them again.
Yeah.
Hey, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
So, anyhow, everybody, welcome Mr. Dan Norville to the show tonight.
23 minutes in, now we can start the show.
Sorry.
Hey, work happens.
Duty calls.
You're a naughty
Literally.
boy, and that's just what happens.
You're not supposed to answer the phone, though.
Well, I made a mistake. Did you say steak?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, we were talking about the Sheboygan Asylum because I was there last night for 8 hours, and
Nice.
so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Interesting stuff. Last night was just going to mention before was the first time I got my new piece of gear. Saturday, I got the Bible REM pod. So, and it has on one side, and on the other side, it has a music box built in where you when you get sent off, it will say the Lord's Prayer.
Interesting.
So I put I put that in the chapel area.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping like the priest or somebody would, because you physically have to grab it and hold it because it's a coaxial wire. It's a new kind of red pod thing where it's all the way around the book, and then they have to touch it, and that's when it goes off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yes, Bill. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Could talk about the museum. Hey, Lori, if you want to talk about the museum, that's cool. I like talking about places I haven't been
Right.
because it amps things up when I go there.
Yeah, and Larry and I were just talking about it before the show.
A little bit.
So, yeah. So, do you want to talk about the museum, or actually, you know what? Before we talk about the museum, let's get into your episodes here. That way we can get into that. So you guys are on season 3, and just kind of finishing up on that. And season 4 will be coming soon, I believe. What, January, maybe?
Ish.
Yeah, most likely January.
Yeah, we start filming in December, and then however long it takes for the first episode to get done.
Okay. So the first one here next to you, Larry, do you want me to play that one?
Yeah, go ahead. That'll should be for episode 1.
Okay.
Season 3, episode 1.
To comment here real quick. Yes, they need to visit.
I'd like to stop up for a visit.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of logistics after show we'll be talking about. So, all right, we'll play this one here. If it'll let me.
Ooh, it's audio.
That's the Broadhead Manor one.
Yep.
Is that the first one?
Yeah,
it is.
Okay. So I don't know why it's got no audio, but
yeah, that's weird.
There's my man Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Or it's
and the 2 Jennies.
So, do you want to kind of talk and explain what we're seeing here?
Go ahead, Dan.
So in that part, they were in the principal's office. Jen was feeling sick, like she was going to pass out, and then she did almost. And Larry actually caught her. You do look good, Bill. And then it flashes so fast, it's hard to talk about. But basically, you're getting, you're getting a lot of snippets from the highlights of that investigation. And then after we walk out of the principal's office, you can see Jen talking there. It kind of messed with her a little bit.
She got sick, didn't she?
Actually, both of them. Yeah. And, Bill or I never really felt anything in there. It kind of felt heavy when the principal was getting a little upset, but nothing to drive us out of there. But it was picking on Jen and Jenny pretty bad.
Yeah. Your video's muted in the bottom left corner of that video pane.
Oh, is it?
So,
yeah. It's just covered by the comments.
Lori says Bill is super nice.
Yeah.
Bill is super nice.
Now if I gotta find it.
Yeah, because the next one you definitely want sound for that next video.
All right. Let me work something out here.
Work the magic.
Tell Dan what number this is?
There you go.
There you go.
I can't
I'm
tell
still
him.
new
You
at
have
this.
to tell him.
5. I'll talk about it afterwards, Larry. Move.
You want me to move? Do you still want to come and play?
Gone.
We don't have to keep playing if you don't want to, but maybe you could just tell Dan, just one last time for me, please, that what this number was that we pulled tonight. Can you tell him? Okay, you want to be done? We respect that.
3. Stop.
Okay. I think
I'm
that's
done.
fair. All right, Mary Jane,
Stop.
thank you so much. So very much. We appreciate it, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much for playing this game with us tonight, okay?
So we did an Estes session there. That was at the Roadhouse. And, Larry and I everybody's doing Estes sessions now, Darren. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to add a little twist to it. And Jen held up cards, and we were seeing if the spirits could tell me what card she was holding up. And not always right on the first one, but I got about 85% of them. I mean, you're not going to see the whole thing because it was kind of drawn out, but the highlights, you can see that that I got that last one. The spirit was saying stop, 3, and of course she was holding up the 3. So
right.
Um,
Which I want to add that for the whole session, Jen never said the number on the card.
ever. She never ever
always
said them.
held it and said, "What's this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, because Stevie brought up a great point, I think that during that Estes session, 3 cards were pulled and it added up to 19.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like the spirit was playing blackjack, and then it even says hold.
Yeah.
So and if you add the 3 numbers together, it was 19.
You definitely want to hold on a 19.
You definitely want to hold at 19 for sure.
Right.
So
which the history of the building, there was a lot of card games back in the early days.
And blackjack was gambling. One of them,
yeah. So historically it kind of fits.
We really do, Bill. I can't say enough about Jen. I miss working with her. I know that Paige and Sierra and I will work really well together in these sessions and stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah and I have already worked together, and we click really well.
Right. Which you'll see that here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you will see in a couple weeks here. But Jen and I, we had a much deeper connection. When I first physically met Jen, it's like I'd known her for years. And that's rare. I mean, Jen definitely has more in common with Larry and everybody else because she's their age and I'm the old guy, but sexy waffle cakes.
She
must be talking to you. Must be talking to you, Larry.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But anyhow,
I don't even like waffles.
We connected on a a very
hi Carmen.
Hey Carmen.
We connected on a very different kind of basis, and it's going to be hard to move on without her. And I've said that a bunch of times, and I know we'll work together again eventually. It will happen. So.
Oh yeah, I've got machinations in the works.
So.
Is it just more of like a traveling issue that she's just not able to do shows with you guys right now, or is it just a whole different issue?
She lives about 2.5 hours away, and when you wrap an investigation at, let's say, 2 a.m, she's not getting home until after 4:30.
Yep, that's
rough.
It does, and then you got the deer at play and all that.
Hi Carmen.
And she has kids.
Okay,
so it's a lot.
It's like Bill just said, it's called life.
Yeah,
I mean, she just had different things in her life that weren't there when she signed on popped up, and you gotta sometimes roll with the punches, and that's what she had to do. And we didn't want her to go. She didn't want to go, but it was what was best for her at the time. And
and now she's thriving. She's doing great.
Yeah, she's doing absolutely awesome, and we fully 110% support her in everything she does. And that Telly Award wouldn't have been won without her and Jenny and Bill and Steve and Broadhead Manor. I mean, we're just laying the groundwork. Larry and I are, and everybody together working is what brings the magic.
Right.
And I know Sarah and Paige will be able to do that as well. I just, I know that everything's going to be great. It's just, I think that I'm affected the most because I worked with Jen in front of the camera the most.
Yeah.
So
I still get to hang out with Jen outside of the show.
Yeah, Larry gets to hang out with her all the time.
I'm hanging out with her and a bunch of our friends on Saturday. So
lucky you.
Yeah, he gets to hang out with them all the time. I don't see anybody.
No,
because I'm working all the time.
Because you're old.
Yeah,
Paige is amazing.
You guys are gonna have quite a few more seasons. I I would think after this. I mean, you're not going to just, fold in and try something different, because I think there's a lot more to be said that's out there right now that you guys are going to be thriving in as well. So
Sure. I mean, we when we first started the show, Dan and I have always said we're going to do 5 seasons and that's it.
mm-hmm.
But that was season 1. Season 3 is a whole new beast.
Yeah.
Things are clicking now that we never thought were clicking in season 1. So, yeah, if season 1, the quality and everything from season 1 continued forward, yeah, maybe it would end at 5.
Yeah.
You're
But
only
now
as old as you feel, Bill.
But now that we're wrapping 3 going into 4, it's like, hey, sky's kind of the limit here. We can keep going.
Oh yeah. I mean,
what
you
I
find
can
new
say,
opportunities.
Darren, is I will be around for at least season 5.
Then you're saying you're going to Hawaii or what?
Yeah, right.
We're
gonna go and investigate something in Hawaii, and we're gonna have to write it off for a 3-week trip to investigate for 3 weeks.
No, I'm being as serious as I can. I set out to do 5 seasons, and I will do 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that.
Yeah, life will change.
Well, I'm trying to, it's, and Larry and I have talked about it. This is kind of our baby. It was originally my brainchild.
Right.
And came to Larry with it, and it's achieved everything that I've wanted it to achieve and more. And now I got to do something else. I mean, I have to. And Larry and I, we discussed this the other night, and we actually talked with Taryn about it a little bit, and then we were talking with some other people. The show in of itself, everybody says, oh, you guys investigate and blah, blah, blah. We do sessions and record sessions, and we make those into an investigation. And we do it really well, thankfully. But we're not investigating to help anybody. We're investigating to show you guys the less well-known places. And like I said, we do that very well.
Mm-hmm.
But in 33 years of service to people, the only ones that we're serving with Expedition Enitiy is ourselves. And to me, it doesn't feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm up and saying, bye, Larry. I intend to work with Larry and the cast and Jen, and we've got other stuff in the works. I just want to kind of take things in a different direction for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Larry and I have come up with a couple of ideas that are gonna really knock. If you guys like Expedition Enitiy, there's something that Larry and I are working at that'll knock your socks off.
Yeah. Expedition Enitiy is a show that fits a lot of niches for us. It's our investigation style. We sit down in one spot and we hit it hard for 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do something, and then after about 10 minutes, we give the spirits a little break because we don't want to burn them out. And we take all those little 10-ish minute sessions, some shorter, some longer, depending. And then we mix them up and we say, this is our night, right? It also helps that, the show is mostly on tripods, because I have a bad back and I can't carry this big camera all night long. I'll throw my back out. But not all shows that works. Most shows, they're actually mobile cameras because the person moves around a lot. And you got to get those good camera shots. Well, right. Somewhere down the line, I'm looking to make some improvements on the equipment side, and I'll be able to do a mobile show to where now, if Dan's talking with somebody and something happens, they don't have to stay put in front of the tripod. They can go chase it down.
Right.
And that's just not something that Expedition Enitiy set up to do.
Right.
And actually, hello. How do you pronounce her name?
Beijing.
That's the name from Taryn's show.
Yep,
Yeah,
she's
she
from-
stopped by the other night. Hi again.
Is
Yep,
it
she's from
Indonesia?
Indonesia.
Yep.
Hey, Mike.
I actually haven't told Larry yet, but I was looking at they're basically police body cams, but these actually record an IR,
Mm.
and they're fairly reasonable, and I would like to maybe pick a couple up.
Actually,
to
it'd be A-roll on camera if that's the primary camera.
well, it would be something that even when Larry's filming what's going on, you can catch our point of view right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it just gives him another opportunity of something to jump to if something happens
Yeah.
when we do something that goes in a different direction.
Right.
So no, I'm not making any big announcements here. I'm not saying that. No,
I put you in the hot seat.
well, no, it's fine.
Damn it, Darren.
I'm not leaving. I'm not.
That's
leaving
what I do.
Small town productions, and if I'm not leaving Expedition Entity, I just might be sitting behind the camera with Larry after season 5. I don't know. It just depends how I feel.
And Dan and I have talked about this. The lead investigator doesn't have to be in front of the camera every session.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're just the person that says, hey, this location, this has been, the SB7 is great in here. Everybody gets great responses. Let's give that a try with those people. So yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like you've seen Decoded with Brad Meltzer. He
Mhm.
kind of sets up the show and he kind of gets them where they're going, and then you don't see him again. Every once in a while, you'll hear him chime in or something, and that may be what Expedition Entity becomes for me.
More
You'll
like
see
a
me
narrative
kind of.
spot.
Well, you'll see me get them set up and
Still hosting.
say, this is what I'd like to see. And then I'm going to step out of it
Yeah.
Right.
because
I'm still doing all my stuff. I like doing what I do.
Mhm.
and it's not, Darren, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that, Larry often says, we're a couple fat guys from the Midwest and I want everybody else, the other concept behind Expedition Entity was I want to give everybody else their time in
Mhm.
front of the camera. You guys have seen me enough. And I think that, Paige and Sierra are going to knock it out of the park. I would like to see Steve in front of the camera more often.
Mm.
Steve's a very quiet guy, but he's a very, very good investigator.
Mhm.
I've known Steve longer than I've known Larry. I
Right.
mean, Stevie and I have been together for a long time doing this. And,
It's
just
more of passing a torch in a way,
Sure.
is what it is.
It
But you're
wouldn't
still
surprise
there
me
and
to
making
see.
things happen, though.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Paige and Sierra one day on the Travel Channel.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
maybe someone watched an episode of them going, "Holy shit, those two did great."
Yeah.
If
Where did
that's how
they
got
get
picked
their
up,
start?
That's
Right,
awesome.
exactly.
That's awesome.
I don't know if Larry and I have any illusions of being on the Travel Channel. If we ever are, well, cool. If we're not, well, cool.
Well, I
you
wouldn't
know-
be on the Travel Channel because I want to be behind the camera. So
Right.
you'd
right.
probably never know I was there unless I told you.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but PARAFlixx has treated us well. I love PARAFlixx. I love the
Yeah.
people, that have put us where we're at.
Mhm.
I like the people that are on there. Natalie's one of the hardest working ladies I've ever met. And, I'm very thankful for where we're at and everywhere we've been. And don't get me wrong. I mean, this doesn't happen because Larry and I sit around and do nothing.
Right.
We work hard to get where we've gotten. But, I want more, but I want it differently. I need to kind of put it out there and start helping people again and make a difference. And I know there's a way that Larry can shoot it and show that in doing that, we're making a difference in people's lives that are dealing with something that they can't explain. Sorry, my dog.
That's okay.
But my son just got home, so there you go.
Oh, it's all right.
whoa.
Buddy.
But
Oh, buddy.
you know, I'm open for new stuff, and you know, Expedition Enitiy will always be near and dear to my heart. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm pulling the plug on it, and I'm not going to be part of it. But I'm definitely going to do what I set out to do. And if at the end of 5 seasons I feel great about it, well, then I'll go on to season 6, 7, and 8 or whatever.
Right.
If I don't, then I'm going to be sitting back behind the camera with Larry and just taking on that host role. And I'm okay with that. Like you said, Darren, passing the torch.
Right. The fire still burns, but you can pass the torch too.
And I'm okay with that. I want those guys to be great investigators because Larry and I had a part in making them that way.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah. Now you can hear my dog doing laps in the house. Knock it off.
Oh,
He loves you. Knock it off. He knows you're here. My God,
oh, buddy.
he's just a big dork.
What a doofus.
Stop.
Do you want to cut into season 4 and kind of explain like what to expect for season 4?
Okay. So we as a rule tend to keep things pretty close to the chest.
We do.
For numerous reasons. Number one is because you wouldn't believe this, but people show up.
We will, Mike.
If they find out you're filming and they know where that's at, they show up expecting to be able to film with you.
Yeah, I get that.
Which is really hard because it's like, no, you got to go now. But then it wastes time. You know, we're only in these buildings for a certain amount of time. If it takes us an hour to get rid of somebody, well, that's one less hour to film.
And I get that why you don't want to give out the locations right away.
Yeah, usually a month prior to the release, that's when we go, hey, this episode, we're going here because it's already done. We've already been there.
We've already been there.
Right. And at that point, there's no returning for, you know, an extra shot for an interview because something messed up. You know, everything's already done and ready to go. But what I can tell you about season 4 is
Denise.
We're staying true with our theme of the lesser known locations. We're staying with historically significant locations. And that doesn't mean like, you know, big major events. That could mean significance like, you know, the museum for the whole county that has all these artifacts in it that nobody else has. This is the only place you can see this artifact.
Yep.
That's pretty significant.
Yes, it is.
And in keeping with those two things, you know, we're also taking it a step into new territory where because of the Telly Award that we won and the conferences we've been to, we've spoken with people that have a lot more TV experience than we do, and they want to come and join us. So we're looking to get some of that for season 4.
Yeah, special guests. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we're gonna have some surprises for you guys, and I'm here to tell you, you know, one of those individuals who's going to remain nameless until we're able to release that. I have investigated before, and simply amazing.
Yes,
simply amazing.
They are an amazing investigator.
Yep, and it's going to be very amazing when that all comes to fruition. So
yep.
I can't wait for you guys to see. I can't wait for you guys to see the 2 episodes coming at the end of this month because Sierra knocked it out of the park. She really did.
It's actually these episodes that is what we saw and went, we got to have her.
Prompted us to we were always planning on asking Sierra to join the team after we lost Laura, but after working with her, you know, and seeing how well these episodes started coming out, Larry, you know, he told me the other night, he goes, we made a damn good choice. I said, absolutely. I said, I knew it the minute I met her.
Yeah.
So
I have the benefit of watching everything.
Right.
You know, I get to watch all the interview footage, all the investigation footage, painstakingly all of the static cam footage, which is horrendous and it doesn't feel good, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
But in the sessions that she's in, she's right there with us, asking the right questions. We like to stay on a train of thought. So if we're talking about this specific thing, we like to stay on that thing to see how deep we can get those answers. You get 3, 4, 5 answers that kind of correlate to the same topic. That's pretty intelligent. A lot of investigators, they'll go completely left field and start asking random questions that completely derail that train.
Yep.
Not Paige and Sierra. They get it.
No.
They know I'm asking this question. I'm heading this way. They come up with their own questions that these are things we didn't even think of to ask. And they're right there asking them.
Yeah.
So,
and and what I was talking about Spirit Talker before, that helps me to keep me in line, because when words start popping up, then I can start going on a conversation with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, it is very hard to find an investigator nowadays that you can trust and rely on.
Yeah.
So
Well, and let's face it, Darren, there's just some people, not everybody in the world's meant to be a doctor.
Right.
Not everybody in the world's meant to be a soldier. Not everybody in the world's meant to be a firefighter, whatever. Not everybody out there is meant to be an investigator. There's just some people that shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
And
a lot of them are on YouTube.
And a lot of them are everywhere. And, they're still, everything's a demon. And they're still, walking into houses and being disrespectful and, telling the spirits, try that shit with me and blah, blah, blah. And,
if the thumbnail of your YouTube video looks like 5 people going like this,
that's
I
probably,
hate the dumb
and
look.
it's called
I really do.
the demon of such and such. No,
Yeah.
check, you're gone. Nope,
that's
not even
probably
watch it.
not one I'm going to even bother watching.
Nope.
Yeah. I hate the faces that they want you to make to get the clicks and the views. And
Right.
Be real,
The thing is Larry and I have never, ever faltered and subscribed to that bullshit. And I think that we have gained more respect by sticking to our guns. And, Darren, you've done this long enough to know sometimes you just go in there and you don't get shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if that's the case, then Larry and I are putting out a 30-minute episode that time.
Well, there was the revisit to the Vets Hall.
And we didn't
we brought Michelle
anything.
and Megan, and the male spirits there, they don't like women in their space.
Get them,
so
Bill.
For probably 2/3 of the episode, we got almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad.
The last third, they had to leave at midnight, so we continued for a little bit longer. We were getting stuff left and right simply because they
exploded. And the Vets Hall,
but the investigation is what it is. We still had to put that part in.
We
there.
still put it out. And the thing is that the Vets Hall, and we should have known that, it's notorious.
Get him, Bill.
It was like a boys' club. They did not want women there, and that is one of the things that happens. But they won a contest and were able to pick their spot. That was the spot they picked, so that's where we took them. I mean, some small stuff happened with them, but like Larry said, we had some great K2 hits and stuff, and dowsing rod stuff. But once they left, it was like the Vets Hall went, okay, they're gone, and everybody came out.
Yeah, yeah. But if we were on YouTube trying to sensationalize stuff, you'd cut that first 2/3 out.
Yeah,
because it's boring. You're watching, waiting for a blip on a K2 that's 2 or 3 times and then it's done. But that's real investigating.
Well, I mean, we put a video out there meeting Nathaniel when I was laying on the embalming table.
Yeah.
45 minutes. That was so unreal. I mean, it's just it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't edit anything except for the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
I left everything as raw.
Yeah. Ours is like 95% raw. The only thing that I do is raise volume. So some responses, like the Phasma box, sometimes it's a whisper.
Yep.
And I want you to hear it, so I'll raise the volume a little bit, but sometimes it screams, and then I have to lower that volume. But that's it. All we do is raise volume. That's all you need, because other than volume, none of the other stuff happened on the investigation. You know, you didn't get to hear the response 4 or 5 times before you finally realized what it was. There it is.
Right.
There it goes. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
we have the
I was telling
benefit of
Larry.
headphones now, but
Well, we didn't get nothing in the nurses' quarters last night.
yeah.
It was quiet.
And
Yeah.
I understand that's one of the hot spots, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it got. I mean, you know, a friend of mine years ago said if, you know, he was asked to do, well, I was approached to do a show when I was Small Town Paranormal before I ever met Larry. And
14 years ago.
I'm not going to say, you know, what network or anything, because I don't want to screw things for us in the future, whatever. But, you know, the 3 things I asked them, they could not answer the right way for me. And I wasn't interested in doing what we're doing now. I just wanted to go and investigate and put my stuff out there. But, you know, a friend of mine from back then, he said the thing about those TV channels and TV shows and stuff is they're not interested in a real investigation, because sometimes it's hurry up and wait.
Right. Hey, Nick.
Nick, what's up, buddy?
Hi guys.
Hey,
My name is
Larry's
Nick.
got
How's it
nothing
going,
but
guys?
love for you.
That's like looking in a mirror.
Hey, you know what? I want to see you kiss that.
Oh,
Come on.
Nick, your face is on fire, probably.
Nick, your photo sits on my desk, and every time that I had Allie over this weekend, I'd like lay the photo down slowly, but like, you don't want to watch this, Nick.
It says I can't quit you.
Oh man,
I'm so into you.
I had to do it right in the spot. I'm sorry.
I did not hesitate for a second.
It was meant to be.
I'm a little hesitant.
You can hesitate. I also have Chris Fleming's little ghost dude on my desk, and then I have
He's an interesting guy.
Paige's, which is blurry. Do it. Paige's Dark Wizard that she gave me, which is obsidian. So he helps keep the negative thoughts away when I think about Dan. Maybe I do want to watch.
Yeah. He also has a telly on his desk somewhere there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. This show went to left field quickly.
Yeah.
Soon as Nick showed up, it went off the rails.
It all went downhill. That's awesome.
Oh, let's get back on the rails and let's talk about the YMCA Paracon.
Okay.
I also wasn't there.
Dan could not make it. He had to work.
Yes.
Jeez, Dan, you're naughty a lot.
He got a 12-hour lockdown in the jail. So, you know, isolation for 12 hours.
The night before.
Yeah. The night before. He's a day shifter.
Trust me, I wasn't happy because I did not get to go to my son's homecoming game either.
Oh.
He played the game with Darren. He ran in 6 touchdowns that night, and I missed all of that.
Wow.
So trust me,
nobody's got it on video.
Headboard.
I was not a happy camper.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go
even
and try and
think
get
I
a video
talked to Dan
footage
that
of that, though.
What's
Go
that,
to the
Darren?
school. Let's go to the school and try to get video footage of it.
He's got video footage, but you know,
Okay.
My whole family was there. Everybody was there except his dad.
You know, maybe he was so pissed that you weren't there that he was wrecking fools
he
and got
could've.
6 touchdowns. So maybe
Well, he
not
actually
being there helped him.
He actually had 8 touchdowns. They called 2 back because somebody on our team was holding.
That would do it.
And then he had 1 2-point conversion catch and then 2 conversion runs. So actually, he was in the end zone over 10 times that night.
Damn.
So he's.
I'd say somebody's ready for the NFL or college right now.
Well,
a few colleges.
We're looking. There's a few colleges looking back. So
there you go.
I'm hoping. He wants to. He wants to continue.
Stuff. Don't get him in.
He wants to continue playing, and I want to. I want to see him play. Now you can be like, Al Bundy.
I don't think
he
Luke
actually
has a foot fetish.
He actually did. Yeah. Luke doesn't have a foot fetish.
You have to almost have a foot fetish to sell women's shoes.
To be Al Bundy, yeah.
I feel like Al had a closeted foot fetish.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, so the Paracon.
Yes, the Paracon.
Dan,
I want to hear the fallout of the Paracon.
Okay, so one of the big fallouts was that Dan was supposed to be there, and as usual, he left it to me and Paige, who,
No, that one I was never going to be at.
You were going to come on Saturday for a few
hours.
I
was going to stop down, but I was never slated to speak or anything like that.
No, but you were going to be there though.
Yeah, I was going to try to stop down for a couple hours and ordered it in. Well, that all went to hell.
Sure did. So, Friday night we get there, we set up, all the PARAFlixx people, we're all in one area, right? Which is pretty cool because you don't have to go very far to be like, hey, and then we go out to the bar that night.
What's up, brothers?
That Friday night at the bar was probably one of the most fun times I've ever had in the paranormal.
Wow.
Just there was a 90s cover band.
Are we talking body shots too?
Off my belly button, yes. You might have to pick some, but
you ought to be ashamed of yourself for even thinking that, Larry.
You wanna.
No, I don't wanna.
You wanna Fanta? So it was cool. Everyone had a great time. We had food. I got to hang out with Dave Schrader. That was cool.
I'm looking up the suicide prevention line right now.
It's just a little belly button lint. Calm down.
I got this visual burned into my head that's never gonna leave now.
Well, just wait till you read next comment.
Body shots of belly.
God.
Belly bites. Oh man.
Oh, that's funny.
So Saturday morning comes around and yeah, I had a few drinks. I was feeling a little sluggish. But everything kicked off on time. I was there an hour early, getting things set up. And then throughout the day, apparently there was 1,600 people that went through that conference.
That's a good number.
And let me tell you, I didn't really notice because it was just an endless stream, and Dan wasn't there to give me a break.
Oh, jeez.
What an asshole. Yeah. What an asshole. But, Paige and I, we helped each other out. She'd go for a little bit. I'd try to sell crystals, not that greatly. And then I'd go for a little bit, and it all worked out.
Yeah.
And then I went to go and give my talk on the Black Hawk War, and that ended up being phenomenal. Everybody loved it. Our friend Kathy, who's a historian that we're really good friends with, she runs Haunted Rockford in Rockford, Illinois, and her husband John was watching it, and he said that it was phenomenal. So this guy's gonna know a good historical presentation. Right. So I guess there's your drama. Nick and Aaron saw 30 of 1,600 people because they were booked in a closet from noon to 5 and then had to present from 5 to 6.
Don't worry, Nick. Larry's in his own closet.
I don't know what to say. I
know you don't.
So, now
he's looking a little red there.
That's my rosacea. So, but again, it was a first year conference. I don't think anyone was expecting that many people. So, it's all stuff that can be because Aaron had the ready to stick us in the closet. Thanks, pal. Nick's a little upset. But
I don't blame him.
Candy's very dedicated to improving on the event, so I don't think that would happen again next year.
Yeah.
So,
who knows? I might be there next year.
Well, do you want to go in the closet?
No.
Nick, do you want to go back into the closet?
It is real.
The heat is real.
No, I'm thinking more of doing like something like this maybe at the Paracon.
Yeah, there were a couple shows that I'm like, listen, there's two of you. One of you needs to be live streaming, and the other go get people and bring them to your booth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone did that, but you know, that's the perfect opportunity to grab anybody.
Right.
You know, if you Dave Schrader, having Dave Schrader on your show for 5 minutes would be pretty cool, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Bill's like, sign me up.
I mean, that's just what I think what every Paracon should have.
Yeah.
Is that sort of thing to get the interviews, get people interested.
Right.
You know, come on down, come join the show type of
Well,
deal.
and there are a lot of people that can't make that trip.
Exactly.
But if
And I
you're
was one of
live
them.
streaming it and the conference shares your live stream and you're going all day long,
Mm-hmm.
then someone can watch it and be like, okay, I got to go next year.
Yeah.
I watched how awesome that was. I need to go. And it's basically free publicity that you do all the work for them.
Yep. Helicopter
So-
closet science bill.
For science.
Denise says, hey,
Bill's
we can all
nuts
come
all
on.
the way.
Bill's
Hey,
nuts in the
you
closet.
haven't had anything until you've had Bill's nuts.
I like when Bill's
Salted
nuts are
or
covered in
unsalted?
chocolate and they're extra salty.
Yeah, Bill's
Chocolate
chocolate,
covered, extra
salty
salty.
nuts.
And then the
Are they
marshmallow
buttery?
center.
Are they buttery?
No, salty. Salty.
You
But
guys
the
remember
marshmallowy gooey center is nice.
Do you remember South Park when Chef was singing about the chocolate salty balls?
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth.
Have my own mind.
Okay,
now,
you
yeah.
didn't need to go there, Larry, but
I
yes,
love that
that's what I.
song. That's such a good
Salty and
song.
sweet.
Salty and sweet.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Bill's nuts are salty and sweet.
My mom likes Bill's nuts.
My daughter was pissed that I didn't go down and get Bill's nuts and bring home.
I bet. I brought home 3 of them, and then on Friday got another one. So now I have 4 of Bill's nuts in my kitchen.
And now next year, Bill let me in on a little privileged secret.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They're
Bill
going to
does
have
a little
more.
financing with his nuts too, you know.
Well, next year they're going to come into a nice little sack.
Mm-hmm. I heard that Bill's nuts are also going to include a smaller container that has 2 whole walnuts, but there's only 2 per container. And they come in a nice velvet sack.
Nice velvety nut sack.
Right. And one is
Are you
slightly
putting
bigger than
that
the
in
other.
more?
Just how it goes.
Oh man. Now we went
Yes,
south.
we're
Way off
horrible.
track.
We are
Way
horrible,
off track.
horrible people.
I blame Bill because he's the one that brought up Bill's nuts.
Hey, we're just promoting Bill's nuts.
That's right.
Next says I've held Bill's nuts
Bill's
during
nuts.
90.
Put them in your mouth.
Oh God, that's awesome. Oh my God. Oh, sweet Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
And that's the end of the show.
Well, I guess I can't boost this one.
Back to the cloud.
Oh, this is the one you should boost.
Right. This is the one you'll get all the
Holy
views.
cow, I love it. Bill says I just fell off my chair.
Oh my god.
Yep. The only thing that could, I'll bet you I know who would love a sack full of Bill's nuts. It would be Father McMurphy.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet he would.
Oh man.
Speaking of which,
Oh, but Jesus. Are you going to go serious now?
Larry and I have not made the announcement yet, but I became ordained.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. There you go.
So we're going to call him Father Francis.
Well, Bill's next on your list, right?
To bless him, or
We'll let it go at that.
yeah, we'll just keep it there.
Burn it with fire.
We'll just keep it there. Oh my God. Oh, Nick, that's
No.
awesome.
Oh, no. Well, this one is definitely not getting boosted now.
No. I'm sure I'll get
I've
yelled from
heard-
the network.
I've heard that's happened, Nick.
Karen's going to watch this back and be like, I missed so much.
Yeah.
I missed
Well,
talking
the
about
link's
Bill's
there,
part.
but she's probably busy right now. So
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
right. She's fine.
This went from paranormal to abnormal very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Nick. Larry was telling me that you're ordained. I've been asked to do a wedding. I mean, as you know, we can do weddings, funerals, baptisms. I'd like to baptize Larry in the Kishwaukee River and hold his head under for 30 minutes.
Find a
To the
cleaner
basement,
river.
Those nuts.
And then we'll follow it up.
Dirty.
After 30 minutes, I don't think you're going to care.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then we can hunt his ghost, Darren.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You need a boat.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Larry and I just, with some of the directions that I'm planning to take certain things, it just made sense to finally do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
So I did it.
That'd be cool if you at some point marry some couple and sing from the brother altar.
Ah, bid farewell.
I thought that was a good movie.
I loved Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was an awesome movie.
Normally, George Clooney's kind of a stick in the mud, but it worked for this one.
Oh, not fun, Denise.
In the dark.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Man.
Oh goodness.
Oh sweet Jesus, my eyes.
Oh Father.
Oh, God bless us all.
So let's get back on the Paracon track.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what got us here, Darren.
Right.
What was your favorite part of the day at the Paracon?
That's tough. That's tough. I'm just not gonna look at chat because I'm gonna bust out. Oh no, Bill, no.
Don't reach around.
I'm gonna have to say our presentation, because there were a lot of people that were really interested in the Black Hawk War, and where the event took place is Rock Island, Illinois, which is where Black Hawk's ancestral city is. Saukenok is like 5-10 minutes away from the location. So being able to do the conference in Saukenok, essentially, showing not only the stuff we got over the last 10 years, but the newest stuff from this summer. And a lot of people in there going, wow, I didn't even know about this.
Right.
Yes, Nick. Yes. I have your picture right here waiting for me. So that was pretty. I'm always excited when people are like, I had no idea. I want to learn more. So.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, I definitely want to get out there. Bill's Paracon was awesome to get there, and I definitely got to check out the Rock Island, because I've never been there to the Rock Island YMCA. I mean, outside I have, but never inside.
Nat and Elliot from ACG Paranormal and Joe, they did the investigations. So I think they had 3 1-hour daytimes and then the 3 or 4 hour VIP at night. Okay. And apparently they had stuff going on all day long. Elliot makes spirit boxes out of kind of vintage looking items. He has this really big, I think it's a 40s radio. That's a spirit box. It's really cool.
Right.
But when you've got a spirit from the 40s, they might identify with that and know how to use it. And they were getting phrases and words and stuff nonstop. And then they were playing music. And apparently the spirit they were speaking to liked Nick from the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, Jesus.
So they played Backstreet Boys and all the sparkly, shiny devices were going off. So that's pretty damn cool.
That's interesting.
But unfortunately, we've never investigated it. For the show, we only get 6 a year, and the list gets longer every year.
Right.
So it's like, how do we choose?
They had 75 vendors there, correct?
70-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a lot of vendors.
It is. where we were at, we were crammed in pretty tight.
Mhm.
And then there was a room downstairs that had a lot of the shows and other types of other vendors.
Mhm.
There was a room of just the psychic people. There was probably 10 or 12 of those.
Mhm.
And then you had Nick and Aaron's booth upstairs in a closet where no one could find it.
Right. And then he had Scotty Bowser there with this Ed Gein stuff.
Yeah, which I didn't get to speak with him. I didn't leave my booth a whole lot other than my presentation.
Mhm.
Anytime I'd go to leave, I'd be caught by somebody and then slowly pulled back by talking.
Right.
So,
That's just the nature of the beast.
signage is one thing that could be improved on. Yeah. Big legible signage, an 8x10 piece of paper off the printer is not big enough.
Mhm.
You want something real big that says psychic room this way, 28 days haunted this way, something that can be seen from across the room.
Yeah.
But
Well, in
it's
today's society, everything's got to be labeled.
right. It's a first year conference, so that's a super easy fix for next year.
Mhm.
Putting Nick and Aaron on the first floor amongst the rest of the celebrities that they so deservingly, deserve to be next to. That's a good fix for next year.
Mhm.
Maps would be useful. Yeah. A basic floor plan and you just kind of pencil in where everybody's at.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Sure.
If you're going to hand out any kind of flyer at the door, which a lot of events do,
Mhm.
not just paranormal conferences, but expos and stuff, they give a flyer out that says what's there.
Right.
Putting a map on the backside would be super easy.
Mhm.
So, but these are all things that she'll have a whole year from now to improve on.
Right.
So I will say that Nick was a little mad that we were featured in the news video, but
Mhm.
they missed him.
Oh wow.
So the hometown guys didn't get to be in the news, but Paige and I did
How the hell they miss him?
because they were
He's
in the
so
closet.
big. He's
They were
so
in the closet.
tall.
Still mad. He's a little upset.
I
They were
understand that.
locked away, out of sight, out of mind,
Right.
and
Yeah,
you don't.
that's hard to really get things moving.
Well, and who knows? Maybe there could be some reconciliation and some consideration for next year to help make up for that.
Yeah.
Both parties got to come together and figure it out.
Yeah, there's time to play, so just gotta
Yeah.
wait it out.
I got
Wait
your
it
back.
out.
It was a big storage room because otherwise it would not have fit Nick. He would have been squeezed in there between the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, like I said, we'll come back and revisit it again for next year.
yeah,
So
minus Nick.
he'll be there. He'll be there.
No,
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
He'll be
But
there.
other than that,
He's got a big heart. He'll be
he
there.
does. He does. That was our last conference for the year. We've got some small things coming up here in October, and then we get a 2-month break, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
thank God.
So,
Actually, I've had about a 2-month break from Larry.
yeah, because you don't go to any of these conferences because you keep getting called into
Dude,
work.
I have a job.
You have a pain in the ass.
I think I'm the only one who's made to feel guilty about taking care of their family.
Mm-hmm. Well, life comes before all the paranormal stuff. That's how I pitch it too. So
It does. I just like giving a hard time.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to have some kind of separation.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it that when I talk to my wife, it's like I talk to paranormal stuff. It's like, can we not talk about it for once? I'm like, yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I think, Darren, in all honesty, is what people, outsiders looking in and people that follow all of us, everybody,
Mhm.
is they think that this is who we are and all that we
Mhm.
do. And it's not. The key thing is it's just something we do. It is not who I am.
Right.
Larry and I are both fathers. Larry
It's a
is
side
an
adventure.
ex-soldier. I mean, yeah, it's, we're a lot more than just Expedition Entity and the paranormal.
Mhm.
Which is why we don't do many events over
Just
the
like-
summer, because I coach my son's baseball team every weekend. Dan, both of his kids were home this summer. He's with them doing stuff every weekend.
Yeah. And if Luke goes on to college football, guess what?
You're traveling.
I'm being at his games.
Right.
I mean, that's just it.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I mean, Expedition Enitiy hasn't kept me from any of his games, but my job has, and
Well, yeah.
you know,
hey, that's all going to change
yeah.
soon, and sooner the better, and it'll be all good.
Yeah.
The benefit of being on PARAFlixx is that, you know, we have full 100% creative control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Natalie doesn't go to us and be like, hey, this location, this date, figure it out.
Right.
You know, it's up to us.
Right.
So when Dan's like, hey, Luke's got a game this day. All right, let's pencil this on this date instead.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if it all works out, great. If it doesn't, well, we cancel. We'll figure something else out. And up until season 3 here, it's worked great.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Bill.
So-
And Nick said you have to have a healthy son in a church and state. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Because you know, you start doing this all the time. And I'll tell you what, Larry and I in season 1, which not a lot of people know. I mean,
I watched
Nick
it.
says, can we film a commercial for Bill's Nuts? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Nick.
Bill's Nuts commercial would not be the
Yes.
first commercial I've shot for Bill.
Right.
Yes.
I've shot another commercial for Bill already.
But anyway,
I'll have Bill on here next soon.
you know, you have to have that separation, because Larry and I shot 5 episodes in 6 weeks time. And
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you what, and it's not that I was mad at him or he was mad at me, but
Yeah.
we were both very, very punchy by the end of 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Let
Well,
me just tell
yeah.
you.
Because Dan's
Hi,
part
Dan.
ends during the filming. I still got to edit. So in
That's a
between
lot of
filming
work right
episodes,
there.
I'm editing every day. So, you know, he gets a break between episodes. I'm just irritated for 6 weeks straight. And he has
that's
to
how it
deal
goes.
with me. So,
Yeah.
Dia, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my BFF.
Yeah,
Dia shared a really neat photo to her Facebook here yesterday of with her and Jason Hawes and Sherry at the Sheboygan.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it was really neat to have all them on my camera and go click. So
He does that anyway, Nick.
Well, you know, like you said, you take time off. Yeah, I stopped doing these shows for the summer because I didn't want to bother people while they're having fun doing their investigations, going out
Sure.
and doing stuff. Who wants to talk to a guy after doing something late at night on Mondays and Fridays? You know, come on, you gotta have your
Right.
vacation. You know,
Right.
so well, this has been a pretty good episode here, I'd say.
yeah.
We didn't talk about no calendars like my wife mentioned last episode.
Oh, you talk about Patty's calendar?
The paranormal calendar.
Yeah.
Oh,
It hasn't been concretely scheduled, but I'm sure someone's gonna want it to happen. And now that we've got Nick Simons on the roster, he can take over like 3 months for us.
Right.
He's a big guy. You're gonna get him like laying down like this, and the first month will be up here, the second month will be the middle, and the third month will be all legs.
I'm gonna do the cheesecake. Where you're sitting on the bed like this.
Oh,
You got your feet up behind you. Yeah.
hell yeah.
So what?
Oh,
Yeah.
A bent over.
Over a calendar shoot.
oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't say that. Natalie will make it happen.
we're getting south again here.
Yep. we're going off the deep end now. Oh jeez.
How can you hear what they're saying?
You repeated it.
Oh. My son goes, did I just hear something about Bill's nuts?
That's funny.
Oh no, now Diet wants in.
Oh, there you go.
God, no.
I don't know if you want to be a part of this, Diet. Things will be seen you'll never be able to unsee again.
Yeah.
Just be burned into your retina.
Oh, jeez.
I have
Go ahead.
lost a little weight though, so I might look a little better in those Patty's panties now.
Get it right.
Oh.
Patty's
Hot
power
tubs.
panties.
Oh, power
October.
panties, whatever.
You got to put the "p" in there.
Hot tub.
And there's a blank right there. She's drawing a
Going in
blank.
the hot tub.
Oh, that might have been an emoji.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do show up there. Well, we're gonna have to make a part 3 now, guys, because we just came through with the part 2 here.
Yeah. Well, we're around.
Well, it's been a wonderful show, guys. I thank you for coming on. And
Well,
I
thanks
know
for
if you-
having us. Sorry,
Oh, yeah, hey.
sorry I got here late.
No, it's fun. It all worked out fine. Worked out fine.
Dan, stick around after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have to talk about stuff.
Okay.
So with that, I thank you all for joining us for the Paranormal Brew BB3 TV Networks and the MGS Paranormal YouTube channel for the Paranormal Question of the Day. Thank you for Dan and Larry for being on tonight with Expedition Entity. I can't talk now. And we're definitely gonna have to have a part 3 here for other stuff.
I'll tell you what. When
Thanks,
the
Nate.
first big amazing thing happens,
Thanks, Bill.
for that amazing episode, we'll schedule something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How
Thanks,
did you know I'm a monkey butt subscriber?
Who's not?
I gotta stay fresh, especially in the summertime.
Absolutely.
And on that note, thank you all for joining us. You all have
Thanks,
a wonderful
guys.
Monday, and I will see you
Bye-bye.
Friday. Actually, no, you won't see you Friday. I'll be in Iowa Friday. So no show Friday, show Monday. So long, everybody. See
Bye,
you soon.
everybody.